Are you a professional woman who wants to create passive income streams and financial freedom through real estate investing? Join us here on Real Estate Investor Goddesses, hosted by Monick Halm. Listen to women who are rocking it in real estate investments as they share their stories of success, failures, and best advice in real estate investing. Start creating real wealth through real estate. Tune in today. Here's your host, real estate investor, syndicator, and developer, Monick Halm.
Welcome to the Real Estate Investor Goddesses podcast. I am your host, Monick Halm. On this show, I interview amazing, badass women real estate investors, women that are crushing it in the real estate investing space. And I am super excited today to be interviewing Jhanel Wilson, who has been investing in real estate for over 17 years. While being a chemical engineer, she began investing in real estate at the tender age of 22. She used her engineering career not only to fuel her investing, but also give her confidence working in a male-dominated field like real estate is. Along with other engineering-related skills, she used them to help her excel her way to an 8-figure rental portfolio, mostly small multifamilies in Philadelphia. Today, she's the founder and CEO of the Savvy REI with a mission to share her 17 plus years of hard lessons and personal strategies to help people understand, master, and succeed with real estate investing. I love that, like me, she has a heart to help others get in the game too and be successful. And I'm super excited to have her. Welcome, Jhanel.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I've listened to this podcast since 2019, so it's an honor to be a guest on here.
Oh, yay. I love that. I feel very honored.
Yeah,
So thank you. And I'm so happy to have you.
Yeah, at the time, I was really looking for a podcast that had women investors on it. I mean, I listened to bigger podcasts, which is great, but I was just really looking for a women's perspective. And when I came across it, I was so happy. So thank you for putting it together. I really appreciate it. There's women out here who appreciate it too. We need to hear more from us.
Amazing. Well, I'm glad they're able to hear from you today. And I know there are a lot of engineers that go into real estate. I think it's just because it's such a logical thing to do. Like once you know about it, maybe that's it. But what got you started in real estate investing?
Well, what got me started was my dad had a duplex across the street from my grandmother's house. So whenever we went to visit, I always remember him going across the street and bringing money. And I've always been into money as a young kid. I've been saving coins, wrapping them up and taking them to the bank. And so it was always on my mind that house across the street equals money. So as time went on, my dad kind of fell on hard times and let the property, it became vacant and abandoned, run down. And I kind of forgot about it. I lost touch with him and the property. But so many years later, when I was in college, I forgot about the property. And my grandmother calls me and tells me that the house is going up for share sale and I want to save it. I have to come down and find out what I owe on it. So I found out that we owed like $5,000 in back taxes. So I got a student loan and I paid the back taxes and stopped the share sale. I went back to school, forgot about it again, graduated, started working as an engineer. And then my grandmother called me again and said that the city's about to tear it down. Now, because it's been empty for so long, the roof was bad, rain does those terrible things to a property. So the back wall was collapsing, the joists were rotten. And if I didn't fix these violations, the city was going to tear it down. So I did the only thing I knew of, and I got a cash advance from my credit card. I don't recommend doing that, but that was all I knew at the time. And as I was down there downtown and they're reading off this list of violations, I remember thinking that I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know anything about this. I don't have enough money. But there was a contractor there and he heard the story, probably saw me in despair and was like, I can fix all these things for you. And I was like, really? So he did. He fixed all the violations. And he was like, I can do the rest of the work for you. But I was like, I don't have money. I started getting estimates for things and everything was high. I didn't really know what to do. So I was like, maybe I should just sell it. I done dumped $10,000 into this property. Don't really have any other resources. So my grandmother brought me someone who offered to buy it for $45,000. And I was like, do they know the condition? And she said, yeah. And I was like, they still want it? She said, yeah. I'm like, well, if he wants it, maybe I should keep it. So I was like, I'm just want to figure this thing out. So my mom is a cosmetologist, and I was in the shop one day, and one of her clients actually has a property around the corner from it. And she told me how she just got a refinance. They did a drive-by appraisal, and she got a loan for $60,000. And I was like, huh, drive-by appraisal? That sounds genius. That's what I'm going to do. So I fixed up the outside. I put new windows, doors, and I got a drive-by appraisal, and I got a loan for $63,000. So
Nice.
yeah, unfortunately, there was mortgage liens and water and other more taxes on it. So I wound up paying up the 45,000 out of the loan, but I had like just enough 20,000 at the time. Seems like really cheap rehab, but I had enough money left over to fix it up. Then I went through the whole gamut of contractor problems. He stopped working on the house, and it took about 8 months to renovate. But I was going through it with this property. But by the time it was finished, I put 2 Section 8 tenants in there. It started cash flowing $100 immediately, and I was
So,
like,
sorry, how much did it start
I
cash flowing?
forgot $700. $700.
700.
And this
Nice.
is that was a lot. I know that's a lot of money. It was Section 8, so it was direct deposit to my account. Their portions were like $50. And I was like, I forgot all the drama I had been through. And I was like, I'm doing this again. Where is the next property? So that was how I got started. It was a lot of up and downs, but I made it. I think because that house was such a huge challenge, it kind of made me fearless. So I've taken on all types of projects since then. Some too big for my britches, but I survived them. But it prepared me for a lot, and it gave me a new perspective about real estate that I'm really thankful that I got at a young age and been able to capitalize all this time.
Sometimes it's good to have all those challenges up front, because you're right,
Yeah,
it can make you feel fearless.
yeah,
Or at least you're like, okay, I survived this and this and this and this. I can
I'm
survive
here.
anything.
Yeah, I mean
And
the
then the
good thing was
easy
that at the
deals are like
time,
so easy
yeah,
after.
piece of cake. Like, oh, single family, just got to pay. I could do that in a week, but no. But I think because I was young, I didn't have any kids, I didn't have a lot of like stress and responsibilities. I can take on those things and learn it at a young age. I mean, now if I was doing it for the first time with all the responsibilities I have and other stresses in life, it's different. So I was fortunate to start early, and I could just focus on just let that one thing stress me out. That makes sense.
That does make sense. Though I think anybody can start. It's just what knowing that
Oh
it's
yeah, no.
possible.
Anyone can
You can
start.
get through it. Yeah, there are ways.
Yeah, you can, but I do recommend people start with a cosmetic.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
recommend total
Ugly
rehab that.
ducklings with good bones is what I'm all
Yeah,
about.
good bones, not broken joints or walls collapsing.
Yeah, no,
But
none of that stuff. There are certain things that if you fix it up, you will get more money for it, and other things that if you just have to fix it up, it doesn't give you a penny more. So
yeah,
foundations and structural things and roofs and all the and pipes and all that stuff is not it doesn't bring any more money.
yeah,
Kitchens,
yeah.
bathrooms,
I know.
paints, like all that, those fun things.
Yeah, I just get concerned about the learning curve. So if you're new and you have all those things, the learning curve is kind of steep, and you might get discouraged. So I want
Yes.
people to get into the first property and be motivated by how easy it was and all the money that they made, and then start having because they have the extra motivation because they've seen it to take
Yeah,
on something harder.
absolutely. So you were telling me a little bit of, before we started rolling about what you're up to now. So share a little bit about where, what your focus is now.
Um, so I've been after quarantine. I really wanted to take a break, but I've gotten so good at just doing triplexes. When everyone brings me a deal, I just take it because it seems relatively easy. But with quarantine, things got definitely very hard to manage with my kids being home. But so I'm on my last few triplexes now, but I've started moving into mentoring. So that's new for me, and doing an online course, which is also new. So I'm doing a lot of coming out of my comfort zone. So that's like
Yeah.
my big book right now is learning how to teach, learning how to put a course together, which is actually pretty hard, and mentoring. So those are things I'm working on right now.
Beautiful. And So before we hit record too, you were talking about a squatter. You had, this challenge that you're experiencing right now.
Yeah.
Trying to get somebody out, especially in the middle of a pandemic when you cannot get them out. Um, and that might be related to my next question, which is what was your biggest mistake and what did you learn from it? But what are you learning from dealing with this squatter? And that may or may not be your biggest mistake. Well, why don't you share?
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like every mistake is just a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't welcome them, but that's why I kind of grow in like small steps because there's always something that I don't know and I
Yeah.
understand that. So if I make a mistake, it's because I don't have experience with it. Um, and like I said, it's just a learning experience. But I don't feel like he was a mistake. I just feel like he's a rare occurrence. So I try to weigh things as far as risk and reward or risk and probability. And so whenever I've had a difficult tenant, usually it's because I inherited them, because I try to always pick tenants that are reasonable. One of the biggest determining factors is not just can they afford it, but are they a reasonable person? To make sure we can always work things out, whether there's some kind of misunderstanding that we work out, or if we don't work it out, you just agree to leave. If not, we do eviction, or if not, we do catch your keys. So I feel like there's always a way to work things out to each other's benefit. But
Yeah.
with this particular person, he has proven to be unreasonable, which is why it's not working out. So I don't think it's a mistake. It's just something that happens. But for the probability of my experiences with working on getting tenants out, it's a fairly good experience. This is just something I have to go through because of COVID. So
Yeah. It's just there's that. So we were
yeah, it's
talking
always
before.
something.
I have quite a few tenants that just thought eviction moratorium meant rent moratorium and they stopped paying rent. And you just have to just take it. That can be part of the process and the challenge dealing with difficult
Yeah,
tenants.
I mean, with every project, there's always some kind of challenge. And although I have had my fair challenges with this one, like my contractor, he, I've been working with him for 10 years and I try to always keep houses in the pipeline from him, which is why I got 7 right now. I got a little backed up. Um, but he's going through some personal things and he just decided not to do the work anymore. So I had that going on. And then because of that, I had to go through taking on projects with new contractors, which is like a whole nother animal. You got to be a lot more involved. They got to know that you're like this because like with him, we already are in our group. We know each other. He knows what I want already. So it's very easy. So with new people, you got to learn each other. Um, you got to figure out how each other work things out when things don't go right. So I had that. And then the squatter guy who was vandalizing the property, cutting up pipes and my guys didn't want to work there anymore. They were in danger. So I've been going through a lot with this last project, but fortunately, I think I got it at a really good price. It was like a COVID deal, and I think I'll still be okay even with the losses I have suffered, and that comes with buying right. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a part of expecting some kind of challenge to happen with every job.
Yeah, for sure. So what would you say was your biggest mistake and what did you learn from it?
Oh, heavy. I mean, like, let's see, biggest mistake. Honestly, I think the only mistake that I would say I made is with this one particular job where I didn't I didn't verify everything in the planning stage. So this big job, I was on 15 units and we had to get plans and all these people had to be involved. And usually I read everything and triple check because people make mistakes. They copy and paste and all these different things. So because I didn't do that, the plans were wrong. I had to keep getting them sent back over and over again. And it made me realize how important the planning phase is whenever you're doing a construction job, making sure everything is right up front. I mean, planning in general is really important. When you plan to quit your job, when you plan to do anything, planning is always important. And it takes discipline to plan. It takes discipline to go and read those plans when you don't want to read them. But
Yeah.
I think that was like my biggest mistake. And I learned that I always need to double check everybody's work. You need to know a little bit of everything just to know when something isn't right.
Yeah. It's good advice. What are you most proud of?
Um, I'm most proud of me right now for coming out of my comfort zone with the teaching and being online and doing podcasts. People have been inviting me to speaking engagements, which I would have never thought I would ever do my whole entire life. I'm an introvert and I like living in my little bubble, and people push me out into the spotlight. I'm like, ah. So I know that once I do it over and over again, I'll get more comfortable, but it's just getting out the comfort zone that's uncomfortable. So I'm happy that I am making myself uncomfortable and doing it and welcoming anything that comes with it.
You should be proud of it. Public speaking is the biggest fear. More people fear that than death. So the fact that you're willing to go out there, that's so huge. It's great. And to what do you attribute your success?
I think just being disciplined and motivated. You know, you always need discipline and motivation to carry you through things, powering through ups and downs, and always trying to look at the bigger picture and be motivated. I mean, real estate is full of ups and downs with tenants, contractors, the city, bureaucracies, and powering through all of it and staying successful and happy I think is a huge feat.
Yeah. Beautiful. And what advice do you have for a woman who's just starting out in this field?
I definitely feel like women need to feel like we definitely belong in real estate investing. It's been a male dominant field for so long, but real estate investing is more than just the money, more than just the financial bottom line, but it involves people, it involves making sure your tenants are taken care of, it involves bettering the community, making sure everyone is really is benefiting from the whole field in general. It's not just about the money, and I think women care more about that than men.
Yeah.
I had this one year where I was working with a GC. We did like 13 projects together, and through like the sixth one, he was like, "You know what? I'm only gonna work with you for the rest of the year. Even though I make a little bit less money with you, I'm moving into a place in my life where I don't want to work for a-holes." Said, "And you're nice to my guys, you're easy to work with, you're reasonable, and so we're gonna just focus on your project from now on." I'm like, "Hey,
That's great.
nice. I'm glad to hear that." Yeah, so I feel like us as a society is moving toward a place where we really want to be appreciated at work. We don't want to go in a high pressure situation. So if women can put a spin on it and bring our feminine energy and our love and take care of tenants and everyone else, it will be a better place. There will be no more slumlords because we will make sure you have heat and can compete with kids.
Yeah, nice places.
Mm-hmm.
I love that story. And that I think a lot of women think that they have to be super tough and they have to show up like men in order to be successful. And I think we're actually so much more powerful when we're in our feminine and we're just like who we are.
Yeah.
People want to work with us, and even if they're making less money, because it's so much more pleasant to be working with people who care about you. And that's why more women need to be in the field. And I hear so many people, men say, I love working with women. They like men love working with women, love working with women, and they will do it even for less money because it's a more pleasant experience. So.
Yeah. I tell women all the time, so you don't have to act tough. I said they will respect you just because you respect them. You keep the jobs going, the money going. You're a fair person. There's more to just being tough that makes a leader. There's other things that make you a leader. And once you exude this respect for people and creativity and other things that you bring to the table, people will naturally respect you. You don't have to act tough.
Yeah. Beautiful. And what do you wish you'd known at the beginning that you now know?
I guess I wish I would have networked sooner. I didn't realize the importance of networking. What gives you an edge in investing, especially in real estate, is information, and more people is more information. So it helps you make more money. It helps you when you get in bad situations. So networking is really important. It's one of the second things I teach when I'm teaching the people who are taking my course is you have to network. Not just us online. I need you to get involved in your local areas and meet people and learn different strategies, learn different areas, and just build up your network of people to support you. Because also, people who are not in real estate investing, they have all types of bad things to say about it. And if you have a problem, they'll be like, you should just sell it. I told you not to do that. So if you have a network of people who understand you, understand real estate investing, you'll have a better chance of lasting a lot longer.
Such good advice. Beautiful. All right. Before we get into our famed end of show Trinity, which is a brag, a gratitude, and desire, how can people connect with you, find out more about what you do?
So I have a website that's right now it's still a landing page. I just sent it to a web designer. So it's JhanelWilson.com, JHANEL Wilson.com. And I'll be coming out with a lot more guides, and because I realized the information out here is really cookie cutter, and it's really not what people need to learn real estate. So I'll be putting out some things coming from an investor who's been in the game for 17 years. A lot of this stuff is not sexy. It's just like old school, understanding the market, understanding the numbers, and learning the fundamentals of investing and people actually. So if you sign up for my landing page, you'll get notice when I have information and what my course is and stuff like that. So JhanelWilson.com.
Beautiful. All right, now it's time for our famed end of show Trinity. So what is one thing you're celebrating right now? What is your brag?
I forget my brag.
Come up with a new one. I've heard so many things already for you that you can brag about.
I know I'm not good at bragging. It's wrong with me. I'm just gonna brag about, I don't know, being a great mentor. I don't know. I have no idea. What did I put?
So
ask me another question.
Is that your brag, that you're a great mentor? Well, brag. You can brag that it's like I brag I'm a great mentor.
It was the same about okay. And I'm a badass investor.
Well bragged. Yeah, beautiful. And what's one thing you're grateful for?
Now that COVID, I'm not gonna say it's over, but I've been seeing a lot of family that I haven't seen in like a year and a half. I'm just really glad for the ones that have survived and that we're doing well. People who have their businesses that are still doing well. So I'm just happy to see everyone again and reunite and try to pick things up where we left off.
Yeah, beautiful. And what's one thing you desire?
A nanny.
Say a man?
Yeah, a nanny. I really want a nanny.
A nanny. I heard a man. Okay, you want a nanny.
Yeah, I have a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old, and then a 1-year-old. And I'm hoping once I finish these couple of triplexes that it will pay for a nanny.
All right. Well, so shall your desire be, or so much better than you can imagine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being on. This was amazing. Y'all, you can connect with Jhanel at JhanelWilson.com, and that's Jhanel, JhanelWilson.com, and connect with me at reigoddesses.com. There you can find out about our events, our training programs, our investor club for passive investing opportunities, and the blog, the podcast, all the things. And definitely subscribe and like this podcast, and so you never miss another amazing Real Estate Investor Goddesses podcast interview. Bye-bye.
You have just listened to another episode of Real Estate Investor Goddesses, a show dedicated to sharing stories of women creating real wealth through real estate. If you found value on what you just heard, feel free to share with your friends. Visit us at reigoddesses.com to learn more about our programs and live events, as well as to access other resources. Until next time.